Hazbin Hotel Season 2 Episode 3 continues off where Episode 1 left off in the fact that Sir Pentious is now up in heaven, finally redeemed. Charlie Morningstar found out about it, and then her next course of action is to trust Vox Tech with this news. Because of course, he is not going to manipulate the story in his own way. So, the whole episode is of Charlie Morningstar trying to convince Vox that her Hazbin Hotel can work, and uses angel dust as an example and puts him through a bunch of tests and trials that they put Sir Pentious through, thinking that what happened with Sir Pentious could happen to angel dust. And nothing's working, and Vox is just having the time of day, just watching Charlie make a fool out of herself. And even with a selfless act that Angel Dust has made, it seems that he has to deal with his own sins, and they have to figure out a way to fix Angel Dust's problems and what he's been through. The same thing cannot happen with Sir Pentious that could happen with Angel Dust, because what Angel Dust did was commit murder on his own father. So the rules are different. And from what we learned in episode 2, Sir Pentious was able to go up to heaven because he atoned for his own sins. Angel Dust needs to do the same thing. And in order to do that, we don't know how it's going to happen. Is he gonna have to confront his father in the future? I don't know. But all that we know is that Vox Tech has a story and is going to manipulate it in his own way to make the hotel look bad, and for his lackeys and the V's to be able to go up to the top and try and rule over heaven. Basically playing each side to gain their own favor. We also get a side plot of Cherry Bomb coping with the fact that Sir Pentious has actually redeemed himself. She is having a tough time trying to comprehend all of this, asked Bastards a bunch of questions about their past with each other because they seem to have known each other at some point, and they used to be lab partners until they had to break off because Sir Pentious just does not share Baxter's ideologies in more violent ways of creating inventions. And then Sir Pentious and Cherry Bomb have this love ballad by the end of this plot line, which I honestly found to be one of the strongest songs we have gotten this weekend from these two episodes. And I thought it was very well sung. It told the story and relationship between these two characters very well, and it was a lot of fun, visually interesting. All in all, it was a really great song to a really good subplot that the episode explored. And I really like how this episode delved into the conflict between Charlie Morningstar and Vox Tech. I really like how we get so much banter between these two characters and understanding how their conflict, how their ideologies are going to clash throughout the rest of the season, how their ideologies differ in so many ways, and just how manipulative Vox is going to be all throughout. And establishing this villain-hero dynamic was fantastic for this episode to do early on in this season, so that their future conflict can grow further and further and boil to that breaking point in the finale. And I really like how this episode also shows signs of Angel Dust being willing more than ever to try and be a better person and be more selfless than he's been before. Even when it comes down to the bottom line and things going wrong, he's able to put his life on the line to be able to help someone else. And unfortunately, that doesn't mean he's going to go up and be redeemed like before. He needs to atone for his own sins. And after that bomb drop that we get in the episode, it makes me really interested to see how his development is going to further throughout the rest of the season. especially when we go back to his relationship with Valentino. Now that the V's are involved in this conflict, how's it all going to play out for him? Because he is going to get very involved by the end of the season, especially when it comes to Valentino. And I also really like how there was a bit of dialogue harkening back to episode 1's joke in Valentino always smacking angel dust around, and it's clearly not meant to be in the good light in the hero's perspective here, because all the protagonists and how they talk about what Valentino does is definitely not good, whereas in the villain side of things, they clearly play it off as a joke. So we really do get both perspectives on how they see the world around them, and I think it makes the story feel a lot more engaging, and we are a lot more in the character's mindset. Overall, not a bad episode. Really enjoyed it. The animation is great. The music is really fun. Really like Charlie Morningstar's a song about how to get redeemed and how she gets further crazy as the song goes on. Overall, everything about this episode worked pretty well. How it establishes the hero and villain conflict. And I'm really interested to see how the rest of the season is going to play with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.